Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're with me for the first time, I'm Melissa Reed and I am an artist from Pennsylvania. So today we're doing another piece with some collage and ink on watercolor paper. I'm really loving the way these are turning out. The acrylic inks are just fantastic to work with. So we're just going to keep going here. I've got in front of me a piece of watercolor paper that I have taped down. I'm going in with some clean water on a large 2-inch brush, and I'm using some Rowney Antelope Green ink to start with. I'm sorry, that's Antelope Brown, not Antelope Green. I always want to call it that because sometimes it can look a little green. But anyway, I'm laying some of that ink down into the pools of water, into the water fields that I have made there. And I'm going in to create another one on the right-hand side, adding a little bit more of the Antelope Brown to it. And then I decided that I wanted to add a little bit of blue. I thought about using turquoise because those two colors together are beautiful. But in the end, I decided to go in with a Rowney indigo color. And those two colors together look beautiful. You will see that in just a minute. I'm going in with my pen and nib and just creating little lines with water between the two pieces that allow the ink to flow back and forth. So it's just like creating little pathways that add a little bit more interest to the design. So what I have there is that indigo ink, and I'm just going to add some of that in with a little more water, and you'll see when I add that how beautiful that color is. It's very dark, almost black when you set it down, but when it spreads out and breaks a little, it just turns into this beautiful blue color. I'm going to undo the tape here on the top and allow those colors to flow into each other and mix just the tiniest bit and get a little bit more spreading and movement on there. And you can see what we've ended up with. I'm just using that pen to again bring some of that indigo now across to the other form just to make them connected visually on the page there. And I'm going to let that completely dry and take off the tape, and I'll be right back. All right, this is completely dried and I've removed the tape, as I said, and you can see the beautiful colors that we have going on there. It's a great start, but what am I going to do next? Well, the next thing I decide to do is go in with a little bit of collage. This is some of my text collage paper that I have made. I talked about it in last week's video. I have a text stamp that I think I might have gotten off of Amazon, and I just roll out some Mars Black Liquitex paint on and I use my jelly plate actually as a stamp pad, and I'll take the stamp onto that and just print an entire sheet of tissue paper with that because I use it so often. I like to have several sheets of that around all the time. And oftentimes when I am tearing collage papers, I will try to keep them in either square or rectangular forms, but this one tore in an odd shape and I really liked it, so I thought I'd keep it. And there are no rules. You do not have to, have everything perfectly square or anything really. You do exactly what you want, but sometimes I just like to see what happens and let it tear on its own and just use what I've got, which is what I did with this third piece that I'm putting on there as well. Now again, these are all printed on tissue paper, which is why when I'm using that Liquitex matte medium to glue them down, those are disappearing. Like the tissue paper is disappearing right into the background. You can barely even see it. Even when you're right on top of it, in real life looking at it, it becomes so transparent that it almost disappears. That's why I really love to use the tissue paper for my printing. All right, so I really wanted to use some abstract figures in this piece, so I'm going to show you what I did there, and I really hope I got this on camera. It looks like some of it might be cut off. I'll show you in a minute, I apologize. I'm using some more of that indigo colored Rowney ink, and I do apologize that this is off frame. You'll be able to see in a moment when I realize what I'm doing. So you can see there, I'm just making these very loose gestural kind of figures, and I'll go back in and work them just a tiny little bit. But what you're going for here, or what I was going for here, I should say, is just a very abstract idea of the human form. And I just wanted it to, you can look at it and definitely know that it's a human shape, but I'm not looking for any fine detail or anything at all, really. Um, while that indigo is still wet, I'm going in with, it's the red earth, the Rowney ink in red earth, and just adding a little bit on top of that. It adds kind of the idea of shadow and depth and dimension without really doing anything specific to make that happen. There's the, you can see now the figure that I have on the bottom there. And I'm going to be adding 3 of these little figures, and just a little shadow underneath where they're standing. I am intentionally elongating the legs, and again, these are very abstracted, but I'm just going in and using the indigo and the red earth to create these figures. When I have the basic shape in, I do go in just to add a little more definition around the shoulders and maybe around the hip area, just to give them some movement and direction. So you can tell that the figure, that both of the figures are actually from the back and you're seeing them as they're looking away from you. And I'm going to put this third one in as well. And again, I'm just very loosely going in, adding them in the indigo, then adding a little bit more definition and some of the red earth. I chose the red earth color because it's a nice contrast, a nice complement to the indigo. They work really well together. I could have really chosen anything, and I, may do that again because I plan on using these figures again in future pieces. But I like the way that it almost creates like a backlit look to them. I don't know, it's just kind of interesting how that worked out. That wasn't necessarily on purpose as far as that was the intention I was going for, but I do really like the way that all worked out on there. Just dab that a little bit to remove any excess water and ink that I had going on. And I had a little of the indigo ink still on that piece of paper that I'm using, and I decided just to kind of connect those large shapes to the top and then to the bottom, just adding a little more water into the main shape so that it flows a bit. And sometimes I like to do that. I like to have my design go off the page so that it's not just so perfect and centered. It's a good visual trick, I guess I'll say, to think about compositionally. Now, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing with these from this point. This is another one of those I ended up having to sleep on it to decide what I thought might work best, but I will show you shortly here what I ended up coming up with. But I'm going to zoom out and let you see the whole piece as it is right now. All right, so I have this old handmade stencil that I made that is literally just a piece of drawing paper. And all I did was cut some irregular ovals in it, and I put several layers of the clear gloss gel medium on both sides, and that makes the paper somewhat water resistant. I mean, it won't last forever, but I have had this thing for a few years now and used it many, many times, and it's still going strong, and it's a super cheap way to make some stencils. I actually did a video on that, and if I remember, I will put that in my end screen for you so you can see. So I decided I wanted to use some Payne's Gray, and I am mixing it in there with matte gel medium, because while Payne's Gray is very translucent to begin with, I wanted it to be extremely transparent. So I want just a very faint hint of color coming through, but I'm going to cover the whole entire piece with this stencil. So all of these little spots are going to be filled in. And I'm doing that to draw the figures into the main body of the composition. So if you remember a minute ago when you saw what I had on the paper, there were just those three figures at the bottom and kind of like an unrelated design going on. This is a way that is going to bring everything together, and it's still going to be visually pleasing because I'm not, while I am covering the whole thing with this stencil design, it's so transparent and it's in a similar tone to some of the colors that I've already used in it that it is going to create continuity and make the whole piece make visual sense as a whole by bringing the different components together. And I'm using just a sponge dauber on there and very, very lightly going over. I'm really applying a very small amount of paint because I can always go over and add more if I decide it's not dark enough, but I actually really like the amount that's being laid down there. I think it's the perfect amount to be able to see it while still allowing the whole entire design underneath to come through. If you don't have a sponge dauber, any regular sponge would work, or you could definitely even wad up like a shop towel or a paper towel and dab that on there as well. You could use a brush, but I would worry about maybe some of that getting up underneath the stencil because, like I said, it is just drawing paper, so it doesn't have the rigidity of like a plastic or vinyl stencil or something like that. But use whatever you have. You could even potentially try using a roller, although I don't know that it would necessarily get up to all of the perimeters of those inside of the holes, on the stencil. So this was really kind of the best tool for the job at hand. And I did go in and add a little more paint sporadically on a few of the holes in the stencil there, just so it wasn't 100% uniform over the whole entire thing. And I will show you what that looks like at this step here in just a moment once I am finished applying the paint. So there's where we're at with it now, and I love the way it looks. I think that definitely brought everything together and made it make a little more sense, but it's still not quite finished, and I decided that it needed something a little bit dark up near the top to balance out the figures at the bottom, and I'm going in with some more of the indigo ink, and I am going to just do some paint spatters. So I'm just wetting the larger brush and using the back of another brush to splatter everything over. And it's hard to see on camera as I'm working with it, but I will have this up at the end for you to see. I'll just let you watch me finish that. And while you do, I just wanted to take a minute to thank you all so much for all of your likes and subscribes lately. It's really been helping me out so much. If you do like this video and wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, that would be awesome, and also hype so I can get it out to even more people, and hit the subscribe button. I do put out a new video every single Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so if you want to be notified of that, make sure you have your bell notifications set to on for me there. And I'm just finishing up with a few more splatters, and I'm going to take you in here in a moment, and I'll do a close-up, and then I'll show you the finished piece. All right, so this is what we've got going on. I just want to take a minute here and bring you in and show you all of the various components of the piece. I think it worked out really well all together, and I'll put up the finished piece here for you to see as well. And I'm super happy with the way this worked out. I am really loving working with the acrylic inks lately. That has kind of been my thing, and I've got so many ideas for new pieces. So you'll have to let me know what you think, if you liked it. If you've tried any of this on your own, if you like to work with the inks, let me know. Always love to hear about what you guys are working on. But yeah, so that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will be back again next Friday, and I can't wait to see you then. Take care.